Hey yo, E-King's Fight News. Man, Mikey Garcia just took an L versus Errol Spence. Everyone wants to give him a pass for it, and he's doing something very smart. Now he's saying he'd love to fight Vasily Lomachenko. We all know Lomachenko's going to be fighting Anthony Crolla in the coming. But hey, Mikey Garcia trying to stay relevant. You got more on the heavyweight division, man. We got a whole lot of news. It's E-King Fight News, man. And we got more on this. Alright, we also got some news on the heavyweight division. Is Eddie Hearn basically reacting to the idea that Wilder would turn down a mega offer from DAZN, talking about like 100 million. So there's a whole lot to talk about. Deontay Wilder turning down that offer is something that could easily be he could easily take criticism for this. It's easy to say, hey, this guy's deluded. This guy is in over his head. You know, how much does he think he's worth for 3 fights? I mean, well, he offered AJ 50 mil for 1 fight, right? He's getting 100 mil for 3, and one of those fights is Dominic Brazil. The thing is, we don't know. What we don't know is what the other 2 fights are. Would you lock yourself in with Anthony Joshua for 40 million and 40 million? That's the question. That's ultimately the question. We don't know what those 2 fights are, so we don't know his reasoning for why he's turning it down. We don't know. But that deal seemed, incredible. That deal seemed incredible. Anyways, Eddie Hearn is saying there's nothing more he can do after what DAZN pretty much put on the table for them. Eddie Hearn was saying there's nothing more we can do. That's what he's saying. What do y'all think? That's what Eddie Hearn is saying. There's nothing more we can do about this fight happening. If that's the case, it now becomes more unlikely than before, even though Wilder's saying, hey, y'all gotta be patient. He's coming back with y'all gotta be patient. Oh my goodness. Man, the heavyweight division has disappointed us so far. No doubt about it. We were supposed to get Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. That didn't happen. We were supposed to get Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua. They don't want to make that shit happen. And now it's on both sides. Honestly, at this point, it's on both sides. And I'll tell you exactly why. I'll tell you exactly why. Because Deontay Wilder could have made this fight for Wembley Stadium for April, and he could have at least called their bluff. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Instead, what's happening? They scrapped Wembley, and they said, okay, let's fight Big Baby in New York. Which is actually what I told y'all would happen. It's funny. Funny how that works. But anyways. At this stage, I gotta blame both sides. I don't know, man. I really don't know. But you know what? Supposed to be an announcement on Tuesday. Deontay Wilder verified that. So let's go to that interview. Alright, as I said, Wilder did confirm an announcement on Tuesday. So that's going down. And let's take a listen in.
capitalize on it, and I want to state that each and every time, because I don't think people understand how serious this sport is. This is a gladiator sport. When I walk into the arena like this, I feel like I'm a gladiator on all days. It's time to get that way. Different environments, a different feeling.
So do you have full understanding for him making that move?
You know, like I said,
because for boxing,
I don't understand. I understand, but I don't understand. I understand from a point of view of being a father outside of boxing, knowing, understanding that this is a dangerous sport, knowing that he was in there with the most dangerous man in the world. I don't have to prove it no more. He was in there and he knew it. He felt it, like he said. He felt it.
All right, apologies for the feedback there, but that was Deontay Wilder. And in that interview, he confirmed that there will be an announcement Tuesday. Most likely, you know, it's an open secret that he's fighting Dominic Brazil next. So that will be a part of the announcement. And we're just gonna have to wait and see how it plays. And you know what? Let's get back on to Mikey Garcia. And honestly, I hate it when fighters try and move up in weight, you know, against the, you know, when fighters try and take a chance with their careers, a big chance to take a big payday, but they don't realize the repercussions of that move. It happened with Kell Brook. Like it or not, it did happen with Kell Brook when he stepped up to face Triple G, and he didn't realize the repercussions that he would still have to face a monster in Errol Spence. Now Mikey Garcia decided to fight Errol Spence, and there will be repercussions for that. Because if he dares to get in the ring with Lomachenko, which he probably knows, Mikey knows this is the only way to redeem himself. This is the only way, is if he can beat this guy. Vasily Lomachenko, the man they're calling, pound for pound, #1, #2 best fighter in the world, ahead of guys like Terrence Crawford, ahead of guys like Alexander Usyk even. You know, ahead of guys like Errol Spence, who's pretty much, you know, ruled the roost at welterweight. Since beating Kell Brook, right? Meanwhile, Keith Thurman's still hanging around, looking for Jose Citos. Got Sean Porter, can't even beat fucking Yordenis Ugas. And Ugas should really be champion. Like, I'm sorry, Ugas should be the champion. Shout out to Breadman Stephen Edwards. Caught his mailbag, and he admitted he had Ugas winning, just like a lot of us had Ugas winning. So, I mean, but Mikey can redeem himself with this fight. But you know what? I can't sit here and say that loss isn't going to affect Mikey in his next fight. I can't sit here and say that, because it can absolutely happen. A beatdown like that could have longer lasting repercussions, and Mikey Garcia is just looking to talk himself into a position where he gets some credit, right? He wants to really, you know, obviously he fucked up. Mikey Garcia fucked up heavy, right? Who's he gonna fight next? Probably another bum. And you're gonna see, when you put yourself out there like that, the fans ain't gonna fuck with you, man. No matter how Mexican you are, watch Mikey Garcia's next fight. The fans ain't gonna be out there repping for him like that. That's the one thing. Everyone's gonna be silent. They ain't gonna be repping for you like that, because they don't know. They don't know. And I mean, not to really go after a Mexican fan base, but you know what? I've seen it, man. I've seen it. Mikey ain't no Oscar De La Hoya, guys. He ain't no Oscar De La Hoya. And Mikey's popularity, you know, yeah, it's grown. It has grown. You know? But this loss will affect him. You know, you can give him credit for a week, but after that, this guy's gonna be forgotten about. He's gonna be forgotten about, and he will be remembered for the guy that Earl Spence absolutely beat down. That was a beat down. That was an old school 12-round beat down. That's what it was. Mikey did show some toughness in there, and I'll give him credit for that. But I actually now I give Lomachenko the edge in this fight. I give Lomachenko the edge in this fight, but that's just me. You know, I think Lomachenko's style, after looking at what Earl Spence did to Mikey, I think Lomachenko's style would be very effective. I think it would be very effective against Mikey Garcia, and I think he would beat Mikey Garcia. Probably the same exact way. 12-round decision, throwing a ton of punches, and outworking Mikey. That's honestly how I see the fight playing out. If I'm Bob Arum, I jump on it and I try and make this fight. I don't know if he will. I really don't know if he will. You know, I seen Bob Arum hyping up Teofimo Lopez, but you know, then again, you got to be careful. You never know if Mikey can bounce back. You never really know, and we're gonna find out in his next fight if he can bounce back, or if he's, you know, basically one step out of the game, because that's entirely possible as well. And y'all know what it is, man. It's King Fight News, man. Smash the like button. Hey, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We got that heat for you. Got that heat for you. And of course, last night we had Mick Conlon get a victory over your boy, Ruben Hernandez Garcia. That was a good fight. So let me know what you guys think, man. It's King Fight News. Smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. For more boxing, y'all know what it is, man. And for now, it is what it is. Peace out. Take care. Shout out to the whole live chat, man. What's poppin'? What's poppin' out there, man? Who do you think wins the fight? Live chat, who do you think wins the fight? Vasily Lomachenko versus Mikey Garcia. Who you got? Who you got? Number 1 is for Garcia. Number 2 for Lomachenko. Let me know. Oh, and by the way, you ever see a hoe named Kevin Brown tell him he owes me $100? It's King Fight News, and we're out. Peace.